If I lived to be 500 years old and was able to be in this business that entire time, I never would have guessed that this would happen. Now, let me tell you what's going on here. When you want to take a case to the United States Tax Court, you got a fixed period of time in which to file your petition with the court. So what happens in an innocent spouse case is if the IRS appeals office if the IRS turns you down, they issue a notice of determination, and that notice of determination gives you 30 days to file a petition with the U.S. Tax Court. That time period is fixed by law. If we're talking about an audit and the IRS comes back from your audit and says, oh, Josh, we're done with your audit, they mail out what's called a notice of deficiency, and that notice of deficiency gives you 90 days to file a petition in the tax court. All of these time periods are fixed by statute. I have told my 2,000 times over the year that if you miss that deadline, you lose the case, you lose your right to review in the tax court, and you're simply stuck. So we can't miss the deadline. Along comes the courts starting in 2022, and they said, no, that's not exactly what the law is anymore. There was a Supreme Court decision in 2022 that came out and said, no, that's not exactly what the rule is. If a person misses their deadline and they've got a good reason for missing the deadline, then we can actually extend the deadline. We can stop that clock from running, and we can receive a petition that's late. Maybe it's 10 days late, maybe it's 10 months late. There's no rule on this anymore now. That fairness doctrine would say if a person took reasonable steps to do the things they were required to do, and due to circumstances beyond their control that they could not foresee, illness, injury, natural disaster, then the court has the authority to extend the deadline to the point where they will receive their late filed petition. Gosh, I fell out of my chair when I read this Supreme Court case. This is a miraculous development that, as I said, I never would have predicted in 500 years.
So finally, there's a little bit of leeway because of facts and circumstances.